Hey, welcome back to another episode of CX Riot Radio, where we talk about customer experience and stuff, still in a hyper caffeinated state. That's right. Yes, welcome back. My name is David. I'm the caffeinated CXO, and I'm the host here on CX Riot Radio. This is my show, and has been ever since it started all those years ago. I'm being literal. We are years old. We started in like 2021 or so. So, probably before then. But we published the first public one in 2021. Since then, we've grown, we've expanded, and now we have merch, we have books, we have all that stuff down on the little link tree below in the little description or whatever it is that is called. All right, so let's just dive into today's episode so we can check that box, and we'll come back and talk after. Okay? Yeah. So today, we're going to talk about tech. We're going to talk about technology. We're going to talk about Techlash. What are we going to talk about with tech? We're going to talk why everybody's quietly starting to hate it. That's right. That's right. It's not because we're all secretly Luddites or boomers who can't figure out how to unmute ourselves on Zoom. No. It's because everything's shifted. And if you run a call center, or if you work in one, you felt it. Used to be, back in the good old days, new tech at work meant things were going to get easier. Or at least a little bit more convenient. Yeah, depending on where you were, right? It could be, oh great, another system to enter the same data into. If you were lucky, and you worked at a good place, they'd consolidate the systems into one pane of glass. And that was much, much easier. So, but things like a better phone system, a CRM that didn't crash all the time. Call recordings and call barging so coaches could take place in real time with real data. Right? Some stuff like that. It wasn't exactly exciting, but it was useful. Now tech rolls out and everybody kind of flinches. They wince. There's a vibe of, okay, how many ways is this one going to slow me down? Well, and it's not just clunky UX or too many passwords or multi-factor authentication, shit like that, right? We've entered an era where tech does not feel like just a tool anymore. It kind of feels like it's the boss. And for a lot of people, that's when things start to break down. So we're going to bring a little bit of philosophy into this. That's right. Yeah. So there's this dude, right? There was this dude named Heidegger. I probably butchered that. I don't speak German. But he's a dead German philosopher. So, but he had this idea that technology wasn't neutral. It actually changes how we see the world. Turns everything into a resource, a number, a checkbox. And that's what's happening in our industry, and what's been happening and happened a long time ago. right? A customer service rep, isn't a human anymore. They're a head count, a resource. They're a thing with a dashboard covering their face. A customer isn't a person anymore. They're a ticket. They're a CSAT score. They're a NPS segment. If that. And all of a sudden, the real point of the job, which is helping people, solving problems, connecting, protecting the brand, is buried under layers of KPIs and some really bullshit systems. So there was another guy named Marcus. Again, I think I'm saying that right. I can barely speak English at times. And he talked about one-dimensional thinking. Basically, it means the only thing that matters is efficiency, right? Forget empathy, forget context. Just handle the call, hit the time, move on. Now, I'm pretty sure that one might sound familiar to you, because we see it in contact centers all the fucking time. QA teams scoring tone instead of intent. Coaching sessions turned into spreadsheet reviews. Agents judged on wrap time more than problem solving. Did you get that person's problem solved? Yeah. That's good. But you were in 45 seconds of ACW. Here's your write-up, sir. It's not that the reps aren't capable, right? It's that the systems become so tight, so automated, there's no room left to be human. And that's a problem, because that's when you get burnout. So when reps are juggling 5 tabs, 2 chats, 1 ear on the call, and 1 eye on the timer, doesn't really bode well. They're trying to sound calm, helpful, efficient, and warm, but also fast, but also thorough. But don't you dare go off script. It's no wonder why people are exhausted. It's not just the work. It's the weight of how the work is designed. So there's this thing called the Burnout Society, right? I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that guy's name. And he said something in the Burnout Society that kind of stuck with me. It kind of hit me. It kind of slapped me in the face. Kind of slapped me in the face with a big wet one. Okay? A big wet what? Use your imagination. He said, freedom today looks like self-exploitation. Nobody's cracking the whip. Nobody's yelling at you. No one's forcing you to do shit. We're doing it to ourselves. And in customer service, that is real. Reps are beating themselves up trying to meet impossible standards designed by people who have never taken a fucking phone call in their life. So, moving on to like social media and shit, alright? There's the illusion of connection. Every app feels the same now, doesn't it? DMs, emojis, reels, stories, they all have the same shit. Even LinkedIn has that stupid video section, right? The LinkedIn's version of TikTok, right? And remember for the week that they had stories? That was stupid. But they all have the same. And it's all homogenous. It's all morphed into sameness. There's nothing unique. Sure, some of them have different colors. Mostly they're blue, right? That's something that should be studied. Why are they all blue? Every single one of them. I guess except for TikTok and Instagram, but for the majority, it's blue, right? Blue color scheme. But, and then tying it back in here, every CRM has the same fields. Every knowledge base looks the same. Even the scripts sound like they were all written by the same AI with the same fucking prompt. The texture of the job is gone. The weird little human moments that made it fun, those have been erased in the name of consistency. So, I just want to make one thing straight. Get one thing straight. What did I say? Your reps don't hate technology. You can see them on break on their phones, right? On those same apps I was just making fun of. They hate what it's done to the job. They hate that every solution adds 2 new dashboards. They hate that every problem needs a login. They hate that their ability to just help someone is now buried under process. And you know what? They are fucking right. Because if the tech doesn't make it easier to be a human helping another human, then it is not worth it. We don't need more automation. We don't need more AI sentiment trackers or more dashboards. We need clarity, simplicity, and the freedom for our people to actually give a fuck without fighting their tools every single step of the way. So if you're leading a CX team, I will leave you with this. Before you buy the next shiny platform or roll out the next digital initiative, ask yourself, does this make my reps any better? Does this make our CX any better? Does this make our brand any better? Or does it just make my data prettier? Because at the end of the day, it's not the software that builds loyalty from your employees or from your customers. It's not the script. It's not the workflow. It's the person wearing the headset. And they deserve better than being managed by machines. This has been CX Riot Radio. This is David, signing out.